103 CIR. It is the early show with Rick and Lola. All right. If you have not watched the season finale of Tournament of Champions on the Food Network, you need to, I don't always tell you to turn away from the radio, turn it down, listen to Groovy or TNJ or something for a few minutes, because I have an interview that I did with the winner of Tournament of Champions 6. So I'm going to give you a chance now to, no spoilers. Spoilers don't make friends. So I'm going to give you a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tell you what, the winner of Tournament of Champions 6 is somebody that I've been rooting for a very, very long time to win Tournament of Champions 6. Antonia Lofaso. Super excited. And yeah, I got super excited. Here's that conversation.
Good morning, Lola.
Good morning, Antonia. I am so excited to talk to you. It's about dang time.
For real, girl, I am so happy. You have no idea.
I can only imagine how you're feeling because I have been on Team Lafaso for a very, very long time.
I appreciate the support. And to be honest, after losing in TOC 5 by a point and coming back for 6, what you just said to me is the reason I came back. I had this moment where I was like, I have been competing, professionally for 18 years. I'm still, after 18 years, I was ranked, or seeded in one of the, in the biggest culinary competition on television. And, I'm humbled by that fact. And, for me not to come back and fight for it, there was a part of me that's like, I want my daughter and everyone to see, especially my daughter, that you can do it. And even, and there was a part of me where I was like, I did so well last year, it's okay just to stop there, right? That's all I need. Everyone knows I did well enough, and then stopped and said, well enough isn't enough. Let's go get it.
Yeah. And when I saw the note this morning, because I've watched every single tournament. I mean, when this started, I've been all in. Every single tournament. I'm just like, it's you or Jet Tila. That's where I've been. It's like,
I know.
Right there. And
I know.
Broke my heart when Jet went out, But
oh my God, it broke my heart. It broke my heart when Jet went out. It was. Trust me, him and I, when we saw the way the brackets were set up, I looked at him and I said, it could be you and I in the end.
Yeah.
And he was like 100%. And so, listen, Joe Sasso pulled out a 93 with that burger, and good for him. It happens. And where there's just a big upset like that, and I don't know.
That was crazy.
I have to say, watching the show develop over 6 seasons, and the OGs come in and still participate, and then, we've got new talent and amazing competitors that come off of other shows. It's just been a whirlwind. It's a really great concept that Guy Fieri created. The entire production, the culinary producers, the field producers, the craft service, hair and makeup, the cameramen, the sound guys, the directors, the assistant directors. If I can tell you how invested the entire team is every year in their people, it's brilliant. Like at the end of this season, cameramen were crying. Producers were crying. Like it becomes very emotional, and it's very it's a really amazing show to be a part of.
Oh, I can only imagine being in the room, So I have 2 specific questions I want to ask you, because they bring in celebrity chefs to judge, And you've worked with them before, so you kind of know the palette. You kind of know what their style is. You know, you don't know who's judging you, but once you see them, you're like, you kind of know. So, but when you see Brooke Williamson, May Lynn, and Manit come in to judge, it's kind of like they've never judged you before, really, right?
Well, I mean, no, not. I mean, actually, if you go back and look at it, you know, a couple different like guys' grocery games, they're really good at sort of like interchanging competitors and judges on that show. So we've judged together, and we've been judged by them in certain, you know, one at a time or specific challenges. But the truth is, when I saw them walk out, I said this couldn't be a better panel right now to judge. Truthfully, because they have been through it. And so there's a part of it where they're going to be brutally honest because they know that the person on the other end hearing deserves that. We want to hear it, right? We know that it's unbiased because they can't see us. And the other part of it is there's also an empathy to knowing, to seeing what's on the randomizer, knowing what we went through emotionally, knowing what options we really had based on, you know, the randomizer's sort of projections, if you will. And so I felt like the fate, like leaving my fate in their hands felt comforting somehow, right? Where I just knew that knowing that the three of them who have been through this have fought through it year after year, and all of them who have done the show more than once, you know, really had, you know, the best intentions behind them.
Right. Right. Tie in the first round.
And also there was a part of me where it's like when I saw all of them, I was like, take me to your world. I don't want to live in, you know, TOC purgatory anymore. I was like screaming at them through the television where I was like, I want to be on the other side, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be with my friends on the other side.
So, what hit your brain when you saw
You know, I was like
Ty?
the little kid that got left behind at school. You know what I mean?
Now that feeling, I know. I know real well. Like, look at all them. I want to go. So, Britt Resignio, it came down to a tie. What hit you? I'm sure there was a wave of emotions.
Oh my God! Well, the funny thing is, because again, I've been here all 6 seasons. I've seen every outcome of this show. Right? I'm like I'm one of the originals. I was really the only original left. Right? In this last finale. When he said there's a tie, Britt was a little confused. She's like, I don't understand. What does this mean? I was like, oh my God! I've been here before. I tied Jet Tila back in season, I think it was 2, and we had to cook again. So initially, I had an immense feeling of dread that we had to do a whole other challenge all over again. You know, I was like, oh my God, I can't go through that again. So that was my initial reaction because that's what happened in season 2. But I do know the rules, and the rules are, you know, we could have an exact tie just based on, you know, the 3 categories. But and this is what happened with Jet and I, we tied equally in each category, so what we had to recook, there was no way to figure it out.
Right.
In this case, it always goes back to taste, and whoever wins in taste, you know, obviously wins, you know. And listen, we went through that so hard, and I knew actually Britt was going to be my hardest competition because what she has, you know, is a very natural way of cooking. She cooks delicious food. She doesn't overthink things. She really cooks from her heart. She has a very natural ability. And so when her natural ability is mixed with a randomizer she likes, she does really well. And so I knew that she was going to be definitely, you know, some of my hardest competition. And it was not even about thinking about what she could do or couldn't do. It was just about cooking the greatest dish, you know. And so when you see us tie in gameplay, it's like, you know, she really murdered purple more than I did, but I really embraced a whole pompano better than she did. So we evened out on, you know, the score that was pretty even. The score was actually even for gameplay. where she did really well in one end, I did better in another end. Plating, she did better in plating than I did, but then I beat her out in taste, and so that's how that cookie crumbles, unfortunately.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and that was emotional. That was so emotional. Yeah. And I know we're running short on time again. I'm talking to Antonia Lofaso, winner of season 6 of Tournament of Champions. And congratulations again. I could talk to you about Randa all day long, because that girl is a beast. And obviously Guy needs therapy to come up with that. Definitely.
Oh, I joke about it all the time. I was like, every time I finish TOC, I have to, I got a long therapy session when I'm done.
Absolutely. So what are you going to do with the money? $150,000.
I know. I have a lot of remodeling to do to my house. It's very old. There's not been a lot of work that's been done to it for a while, and most likely a lot of that is going to go towards maybe some new floors and some new kitchen appliances for sure.
There you go, putting it right back in. I hear you. Congratulations, dear. And will we see you next year?
Oh, my goodness. That is such a loaded question. I'm going to just respectfully decline right now and just enjoy my win and not think about TOC 7, okay?
Very good. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations again.
Absolutely. Have a great week.
You too.